Okay, let's talk about mindfulness. You've seen the word everywhere, right? It's on apps, in corporate wellness programs, you name it. But what is it actually about once you get past all the hype? And why is this ancient practice suddenly feeling so necessary for our modern minds?
But before we dive in, let me ask you something. Right now, this very second, where is your attention? Seriously, are you already thinking about your to-do list for tomorrow? Did a notification just flash on your screen? This simple question, well, it gets right to the heart of a huge problem we're all dealing with, an attention crisis.
And you know, this crisis has sparked something of an attention revolution. The simple, almost old-fashioned idea of just being present has become this vital skill that it feels like we all have to learn all over again.
I mean, the science is pretty clear on this. Our brains just were not built for this constant fire hose of information, notifications, and demands. We are totally overloaded. And that's where mindfulness has shown up as this really powerful and increasingly popular potential answer.
So let's get past the buzzword. What is mindfulness, really? What does the practice actually look like?
At its absolute core, it's this. Mindfulness meditation is basically a workout for your brain. It's a simple practice of paying attention, on purpose, to whatever is happening right now. But here's the most important part, that last little phrase, without judgment. This isn't about clearing your mind or stopping your thoughts. It's about just observing what's going on in there, with a bit of kindness.
And getting started is way simpler than you might think. It really just boils down to these 4 steps. You find a place to sit, you tune into your breath, and then step 3 happens. Your mind will wander. That is 100% guaranteed. But that's not a failure. The actual practice, the real mental push-up, is step 4. The moment you notice you're distracted and you gently bring your focus back. That's it. That's the rep.
So that's the how-to. But the reason this is so powerful isn't just because it feels nice. It's about what's actually happening to your biology. It might feel like you're just sitting there, but under the hood, you're triggering some real, measurable changes. Let's get into the science.
And wow, what a list. What's so amazing here is just the sheer range of benefits. I mean, sure, we see the big ones like reducing stress and anxiety, but look closer. It also improves attention and memory. It can lower blood pressure. It even fosters things like compassion and empathy. It's this incredible cascade of effects that starts with just paying attention to your breath.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? This is what happens to stress markers in the body. We're talking about things like the hormone cortisol after people go through an 8-week mindfulness program. Just look at that drop. This isn't just a feeling of being calmer. It's a real physical change in your body's chemistry.
So how in the world can a simple breathing exercise do all of that? Well, it comes down to a really cool concept called neuroplasticity. The idea that your brain can change. So you're not just calming your mind for 10 minutes, you are actively, physically rewiring the structure of your brain. Okay, let's start with a part of the brain called the amygdala. The easiest way to think about it is as your brain's sensitive fire alarm. It's what triggers that fight or flight response. And when we're chronically stressed, that alarm is just going off all the time. What studies show is that mindfulness practice can actually shrink the amygdala, basically turning down the sensitivity on that alarm. Now, at the same time, the practice strengthens another area, the prefrontal cortex. You can think of this as the brain's CEO. It's the part that's in charge of focus, rational thinking, and good decision-making. The more you practice, the stronger and more connected this part of the brain becomes. So what this all boils down to is this fundamental shift you see here. You are literally changing the balance of power inside your own head. You're going from a state that's run by that jumpy, reactive fire alarm to one that's guided by the calm, focused CEO. And that is the biological reason people report feeling less stressed and more in control.
But look, as with any powerful tool, we have to have a balanced conversation. Mindfulness can be incredibly helpful for a lot of people, but it is not a magic bullet. And it's really important we understand its limits.
I think this quote just nails it. The point isn't to make all your problems magically disappear, because let's face it, that's impossible. The real goal is to change your relationship with those problems so you can navigate life's challenges with more skill and less reactivity. And it's also super important to note that it isn't the right fit for everyone in every situation. For one thing, it is absolutely not a replacement for professional therapy. And for some people, especially those with a history of trauma, sitting alone with your thoughts can actually be really challenging without proper guidance. It's a tool, and like any tool, it needs to be used wisely.
So if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Mindfulness isn't a switch you can just flip to instantly feel calm. It's a skill you build. It's a muscle you have to train over and over again. Just like going to the gym, it's the consistency that gets you the results over time.
So we've looked at the science, we've broken down the practice, and we've talked about the important caveats. The evidence is pretty compelling, which really just leaves one final, more personal question for you. In a world that is constantly fighting for your focus, how could you start to train your own attention?